The evidence seems to indicate that you're watching Dolly Vision.
Footsteps down the hall, fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, king of peace. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shouting, echoes in the night. Mark the truth while live on air light. Top it up, Dolly Vision's dreaming real. True crime scene blast feels so unreal. YouTube madness like share, subscribe. Tracks on fire, burning the world's fire. Where's the baby missing shadows crawl? People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, king of peace. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shouting, echoes in the night. Mark the truth while live on air light.
YouTube, where's the babies? Okay, over 2 weeks, we have been asking this question, where is the babies? All right, and as you can see from the title, it says the search ends, the criminal investigation begins. All right, but before we get into that, I'm going to need you guys to do me a favor. Yes, I'm talking to you. I'm looking right at you. Look, I see you. Don't even think I don't. I'm talking to you. I need you to leave your DNA on that like button. I don't care if you drop kick it, elbow smash it, lick it. PJ says don't, germs spread that way. But I don't care. You can lick the like button. But leave your DNA all over that like button just in case you go missing in America or Canada. Okay, you could go missing in Mexico. There's the cartel, right? Somebody's gonna have to battle them if they get you crossing the border down in Mexico. Dolly will come find you. Okay, so make sure you leave that DNA on file. Also, if you're brand new out there and you're watching my ugly ass face, yes, this one right here, for the very first time, you can help us hit 65,000 subscribers. Yes, I know it's a lot. I can't count that high. I can only count maybe 10 fingers. Okay, that's it. But 65,000 is a lot. And one day you can look back and say, Dolly, I remember when you only had 65,000 subscribers. When I'm at 1,000,000, okay? When I'm at 1,000,000, maybe one day, okay? And you can be like, I was there for you in the beginning, Dolly. So definitely sub up, ring that bell for notifications. Feel free, of course, to share my face on any social media platform, as long as it's not Pornhub, okay? We don't need nothing. They don't have an ugly category, just like Brandon. Thank you, Brandon, for subbing up. You can look at me one day and say, Dolly, I was there for you. I'm your boy. You owe me a favor. Let me sleep on your couch. I'm going to be like, all right, Brandon, come on in. You get the couch. All right. Hope your feet don't stink. All that good stuff. All that good stuff. Now, we've been talking about this case for the last couple of weeks, and I want to fill y'all in just in case you live in a cave and you ain't seen every other YouTuber on YouTube talking about it. Jack and Lilly Sullivan go missing just a couple weeks ago. I think it's 16 days now. I may be a day or two off. I think it's 16 days, 16, 17 days. And under strange circumstances, under very strange circumstances, out of their house in Pictou County, Nova Scotia. Okay. And apparently the parents were sleeping in. It was around 10 a.m. when these kids got reported missing. But what the stepdad and the mother say is the kids somehow slipped out the back door because the back door don't make any sound. So they didn't hear the kids leave. And as soon as they didn't hear the kids anymore, which don't make no sense, but this is what they say, they instantly go looking for him. What a stepdad does, jumps in his car, goes down all the back roads, checks the coverts and all these things. But here's the thing is they were asleep. How were they supposed to hear him? But as soon as they didn't hear him, he runs out, jumps in the car and leaves. If you didn't hear your kids, wouldn't the first place you check would be their bedroom? We hear any of these parents say, we checked the bedroom? Case solved, right? These kids may be in the bedroom and nobody ever checked. Okay. The parents never said they checked the bedroom for the kids. They said as soon as they didn't hear him, he jumped in the car and he started to go look for him. Right. I would think the first thing I would do if I didn't hear the kids is I think I would look through the house. Maybe they're in the bathroom. Maybe they're in their bedroom, something like that. But no, but he gave inconsistent statements. The story kept changing. One of the stories they told was the kids came in a few times early that morning, that night. Lilly and Jack did 4 times to be exact. And they were in the kitchen. And then when he didn't hear them in the kitchen, he went to look for them immediately and the kids just vanished. Okay. Now, which one is it? Were y'all asleep and the kids vanished, or was you awake and the kids vanished? Because they told both stories. And one story was they were in and out of sleep. Okay. So I'm asleep. I'm not asleep. I'm asleep. I'm not asleep. I'm asleep. Okay. So really inconsistent stories, which, Dolly, I don't cover runaway kids. Usually when they're young like this, I will cover them, even if they took off by themselves. But usually the only time I cover a case is when I believe there is foul play involved in the case. Because here's the thing, guys. When you're telling the truth is always the truth. It never changes. When you start to hear people changing the story up or adding to the story or saying things that make them look good, then you know something is wrong. That is red flag number 1. Okay. Red flag number 1, inconsistent statements, right? Your statement ain't the same. Your story ain't the same. Every time you tell it, it's a little tiny bit different. Not a whole lot different, but just a little tiny bit different. So this weekend, Pictou County was out in full force searching for Jack and Lilly Saturday and Sunday. Okay. Saturday didn't find anything. Okay. And now there's some people online that's saying, oh, they found kids' clothes, right? I'm sure they're finding all kind of shit in the woods, but they're not finding anything related to these children. Okay. People are screaming on forums, they found a pink blanket. Did anybody ever say Lilly went missing with a pink blanket? The family, the stuff they have found in the woods, have verified that none of this is their kids' stuff. So basically, they ain't found nothing. But people like to play word salad in these forums and these groups. Oh, they didn't find nothing. They found things. Well, I'm sure they found a lot of shit. Rocks, leaves, sticks. But it's nothing to do with the kids missing. No signs of these children. Okay? I ain't saying there ain't signs of children, just not these children. And there's so many rumors that are running around about bloody clothes and heads in a bag that a lot of people, when they hear this stuff, they believe it. And then I have to argue with them over misinformation. Like, what you're hearing is not true. You done heard it from a few channels or things without people, fact checking it. And now you believe that they done found these kids bloody clothes, and they haven't. Now, crazy as that is, the police are making threats towards internet sleuths. Right? They're saying if you're threatening these parents, they coming after you. Okay. They coming after you if you're threatening these parents. But what, the legal process, listen, we ain't in Canada. Okay. Canadian police out there watching. We ain't in Canada. We live in America where there's this thing called free speech. Okay. So I can say whatever the hell I want to say, as long as it's my opinion and I'm not presenting that as a fact. That's why Dolly gives his warning. Dolly Vision is for entertainment purposes only. We talk news, rumors, gossip, speculation, theories, mixed with a little bit of comedy and a whole lot of fucking chaos. So don't take nothing here as fact. It's just my opinion, Canada. Complete satire. The caller's opinions are theirs and theirs alone, not to reflect on to me. Don't get me sued, people. Everyone. And I even mean Danielson, and malehya are innocent to proven guilty in a court of law. Okay? And the biggest one of them all, by now, y'all already know it. Don't try to be Dolly at home. You'll wake up way out there on the spectrum. I ain't talking about low on the spectrum. I'm talking about full-blown crazy. All right? And you don't need that. You don't need that in your life. So don't try to be me at home. Okay? Whatever you do. The biggest one of them all. Don't even if you get sued, don't try to be Dolly. Okay? But you know, the police are threatening these sleuths, you know, because apparently, let's be honest, a lot of people from Canada are saying that the Canadian police suck. Happy birthday, Sage. To one of the #1 mods in the world, mod of the year, Sage, right? It's hard to out mod Sage. Sage is top notch here, #1. Okay, #1. Happy birthday to you, Sage. So the Canadian police, according to the Canadians, they suck. Okay, now Dolly, I ain't saying that, right? Just in case I ever visit Canada, I like the Canadian police. Okay, I like you guys. I don't know about Canada. I don't know if you suck or not. Okay, I just know that y'all were making threats towards internet sleuths. And Dolly happens to be an internet sleuth. Okay, armchair detective, one of the best in the world. One of the best in the world. Okay, so when I hear the police more mad about YouTubers than whoever done what to these kids, that pisses me off a little bit. Okay, makes me want to kick a moose. Okay, and I don't know. I don't really think I could kick a moose. They're kind of big, and I'm kind of scared of them. But it makes me want to do it. Okay, makes me want to kick a Canadian moose for kicking my man's side neck in the head. Okay, true story. True story. But I would never kick a moose. That's a joke, guys. There'll be clip channels tomorrow talking about Dolly wants to kick a moose. He's an animal hater. I definitely don't want to kick a moose. Okay, I'm just using that as an example. Okay, thank you for being a member. That is awesome. A good way to keep Dolly alive. Dolly gotta eat. Okay, I gotta eat. I don't eat moose. Okay, and plus, if I don't see me kicking no moose because, like I said, a moose is big as hell, and I'm kind of scared of big animals. So I doubt I do any moose kicking. So, but I am an internet sleuth, and I don't like to see the police mad at internet people when they should be taking that rage out on the people that are responsible for the disappearance of Jack and Lily. Okay, that's what they should have said. Whoever out there is responsible for the disappearance of these kids, we are coming for your ass. Okay, that's what the message the police, the Canadian Mounted Police, need to be getting out there to the public. If you did something to these kids, your ass is going to rot in jail. Thank you for subbing up. The Deal Master, is that what it says? I ain't got no glasses on, so I think it says something like that. But yeah, don't take all that energy and take it out on internet people, right? Now, I know there's some internet people out there, they're saying horrible things and they're saying it as it's fact when they're really none of this, right? A lot of this right now is pure T speculation. The only thing we can talk about that is fact is the behavior of the parents. Okay, now this ain't no speculation. These people are strange and a whole lot of change. Okay, a whole lot of change. I don't care if, you know, people are like, oh, well, they're just Canadian. Well, I don't give a damn if they're Eskimos. Eskimos don't act like this. Damn, I don't care if you're from the Ukraine or if you're from damn North Korea. People just don't act like they're unemotionless. They have no emotion, haven't shed one tear whatsoever for these kids. And to me, that is red flag number 2. Okay. Inconsistent statements, number 1. Weird ass behavior, number 2. Joe dirting your kid, number 3. I mean, I could go on. And how many red flags do the Canadian police need? And a lot of people think, and they've been hitting me up saying this, Canadians, thank you guys for all your information. They're saying ain't shit going to happen to these people. That there won't be no arrest. That these people couldn't find a stolen bike, most likely a missing kid. Now, listen, I don't know much about Canada, right? I don't know how even law enforcement really works there in Canada. I just assume that, hey, y'all ain't too far from America. It can't be that much different, right? But when I started hearing the police threaten, creators and they'll prosecute, what the hell? What world do we live in? Prosecute the people that hurt these kids. Get them people down there and do some good old hit them with a phone book, right? Go old school America on that ass, and let's find out what happened to these kids. Canada also has a very weak justice system. Okay. I've been hearing that. No death penalty. You know what I'm saying? Free health care. Too good. You treat people too good, right? And are they going to find the answers? I was thinking already there would be an arrest. Okay. And I can tell you guys this from experience. I live in the Commonwealth of Virginia, right? We were the second behind Texas in executions. We did away with the death penalty, which I believe it'll eventually come back to Virginia. Okay. But right now we abolished the death penalty, which I don't know how that happened. We were a blue state for a little while, right? They want to be easy on crime all of a sudden. But I think we need to be really tough on crime. Really tough. It should be federal laws, executions across the board. We need to strap your ass to old Sparky like Ted Bundy and light your ass up when you take the life of somebody else. I just believe that. But one thing Virginia is good about, even if they don't want to kill you anymore, they're going to put you in prison forever. Okay. We still do that, right? We still do. We throw numbers at people that they will never, 300 years. Like, how the hell can somebody live 300 years? Just in case you die and you Buddhist and you come back to life, we're going to lock you up in the next life. Okay. That's how many years Virginia gives you for crimes. All right. You come back 2 centuries from now, your ass still got another life sentence to serve in the penitentiary. We're going to bury your ass in the prison yard. That's how Virginia works. You're going to pull your 300. They'll dig your grave up 300 years from now out the prison yard, but your ass is going to be there. Okay. Your spirit might be floating somewhere else, but your ass belongs to the state of Virginia. And we throw out them big numbers. And one thing we don't let you get away with here is hurting kids. That's one thing I am proud of my state in. We do not let you hurt kids here. We got all kinds of laws. We will hit you with so many different child neglect charges that you will never get out of prison. Prime example, Cody Bigsby's daddy, Corey Bigsby. He was charged with 30 counts of criminal child neglect. Okay. He faced so many years that this is before they even charged him with the murder. Plus, he was given 40 years for the murder. But he was charged with 30 counts of child neglect. 30 counts. That seems insane, right? But Virginia don't play. His ass is sitting in prison right now. When people go missing here, we either find them or your ass goes to jail until we figure it out. Apparently, Canada is not working that way. But listen, it's still early in the case. Sometimes, listen, one thing about this is we're impatient. Internet sleuths, I'm going to speak for myself because some of these people out here are just idiots, but we're impatient. We want things right now, right? Just how society is right now. We want shit fast, right? When we go to a drive-through, we want it fast. Anything we do, we want it here right now, done. Put it on a plate. Let me get it. Right. And that ain't the case in these type of investigations. Sometimes they take a little bit of time. And I was telling people, I didn't want to speak it into existence because I do believe that you say it enough and it'll probably happen, right? Canadian laws are so soft, right? I guess, right? It's hard to get into Canada. You need a passport. But I guess once you get there, you can break the damn law and they don't do much, okay? I didn't want to speak into existence, but Saturday, they didn't find anything, right? And I was kind of telling people, I was like, look, guys, I don't think they're going to find nothing on Sunday because them kids are not in the woods. The police got there in a matter of 30 minutes, 45 minutes max. How far could a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old with special needs get in 45 minutes? Laughing my ass off. Stop roasting us, Dolly. Listen, I love my Canadian brothers and sisters. There were some Canadian geese walking across the street, right? There was like 3 or 4 of them. And I could have just mowed them bitches down like and kept going, right? And kicked the moose. But Dolly said, nah, I'm a nice guy. I'm going to stop in the middle of the highway and hope somebody don't rear end the shit out of me and let these geese cross the road, right? When they probably should be in Canada. I don't know. I just know they come this way because Canada, the laws are soft and the geese are coming this way. Okay. They're like, we're moving to Virginia where they got some tough laws. Okay. But the geese were walking across the street today and I slowed down, right? And I stopped. So the person next to me stopped and we just waited because, they don't walk very fast. They ain't the fastest damn creatures in the world, right? They all slow and shit looking at you. Like, and they're mean as hell. They're not even friendly. Okay. These geese are not friendly. There's one that's by the Olive Garden we go to, me and PJ go to, and it's sitting on some eggs. So it's already pissed off, right? Like it's going to be a mother. And it's like, yeah, come over here near my eggs. I'm going to fuck you up. Right. And I'm always eyeing this goose, right? Like you tried and I'm going right for your neck, right for the neck. Right. They're going to lock me up in Canada. Okay. And then when I'm done with you, I'm going to kick a moose. Okay. I'm going to kick the shit out of a moose. I'm playing. But I did stop for some geese today. So I did my part, Canada. Okay. So don't hate on me. I ain't picking on you. I think y'all probably got an awesome country. And one day when I get a chance, I'm actually going to come visit. Right. I would have been there when I went to Niagara Falls, but I didn't have a passport. I had an ID. I thought that was good enough. They're like, nah, you got to have a passport to come into the country. So soon I will come visit. Right. But hopefully by then there is answers for Jack and Lily. So at this point, Sunday, they go out there and there's no Jack and Lily. The kids, I don't believe, were in those woods. Now, there's probably some people. Thank you, Gil, for joining up. You're helping us on that road to 65,000. I know there's some of y'all out there that may believe that these kids run away. And that's perfectly fine, or they're lost in the woods, right? It's possible. I'm not saying it's not. And maybe some of you out there believe there's been some type of abduction. Maybe it's somebody that the family knows. Maybe it's a complete stranger, a crime of opportunity that these kids got out and somebody drove by and grabbed these kids. I'm not saying it's not. I'm keeping an open mind to all of this. But to me, guys, like I've been in true crime now for years. And usually stories like this, they don't have a good ending. Usually when parents are given inconsistent statements, they are the ones responsible. And just say statistically, let's just talk statistically. You're more likely to be harmed by somebody or love a family member than a complete stranger any day. Okay. Damn, Mab has been a member for 30 months. Wow. Hello from Key West. You can't hide that money, Mab. I hope you and your wife are having a great vacation. Y'all enjoying that sunny, nice weather, blue water. The Keys are one of the most beautiful places in this country. So I know you're having a blast there, Mab. You deserve it. Mab's a good guy. 30 months with Dolly Vision. Okay. Well, really, Mab sucks, but Mrs. Mab is pretty cool. Okay. So 30 months. That's damn almost 3 years. Almost 3 years you've been here. Mab's been here for a minute. And Mab, you're not brand new to this. We know how these stories end. And that's the bad part because, this is where I give my trigger warnings. The police believe that these children are no longer with us if they're in the woods. So if they're in the woods, the police believe this is a recovery mission. but they've checked these woods thoroughly. They've been in the ponds with boats and divers. You know, at this point, we don't know. Pac-Man, thank you. 26 months Pac-Man's been here. You guys, a lot of you guys have been here with me for a long time, and y'all been in the trenches with me, and you guys already know, right? I don't even got to tell you. You already know. You've been in this game for a while, and this ain't the first time we've seen things like this, right? Now, listen, all what I'm saying is speculation, right? But except for some of it's facts. They didn't find nothing in the woods. You know, the investigation continues. But I think the big scaled searches have ended. I mean, it's a kind of the same thing that happened in the Sebastian Rogers case, Hendersonville, Tennessee, February of last year, February 26th to be exact. A young man, and this young man was 15 years old, but he was on the spectrum too. But I don't think he was very high on the spectrum. I think he was kind of low on the spectrum, functional. You know, a lot of people made him out to be like he wasn't in the very beginning, but seemed like a bright young man, but had autism. He was on a chess team and things like that. Took care of himself for the most part at his father's house and also at his mother's house. And he vanishes. He just vanishes. And, you know, one thing I thought was weird about that was there was no signs of abduction in the Sebastian Rogers case, but they issued an Amber Alert, national Amber Alert for Sebastian Rogers. Jack and Lilly go missing, which are 4 and 6 years old, which would be in extreme danger no matter what. They could walk out in the traffic. Anything could hurt these kids, right? It's a little bit different when you're a teenager and they expect you ran away than when you're 4 and 6 years old and you just vanish. Sebastian just vanished too. Amber Alert for Sebastian, but no Amber Alert for Lilly and Jack. And the police don't even think that's really what happened still to this day. Now, they don't rule it out. They're not ruling out abduction, but they believe it's highly unlikely. Now, I say the criminal investigation begins because there's really no more searching that's going to take place. They searched real heavy for Sebastian Rogers in the very beginning. And then a little while later, they did the second search. Okay. The second, let's go get it. Right. And then after that, we haven't seen any more searches for Sebastian. Similar in the Jack and Lilly story, we've seen them for the first week search real heavily. Okay. Then they said, hey, we're going to scale this search back. All right. And usually to me, in the beginning, if they're scaling a search back, it usually makes me think they suspect foul play, just like I do. And I guarantee you, we'll do a little poll in a minute. There's 1,300. Susan, thank you for joining. We'll do a little poll in a minute and we'll see how many people believe there's some foul play involved. So listen, I don't think the police think much different than we're all humans, right? We all think, I mean, we don't think exactly the same, but we think similar. When there's just so many red flags, of course, you're thinking foul play, right? They have, if we armchair detectives, internet sleuths, if we're seeing these red flags, don't you think professionally trained investigators are seeing these red flags? I do. I don't really think the police are stupid. I think, time you go through all that stuff and you work in crime long enough, you start to pick up on things. And same thing here. Maybe I don't wear a badge, but every day I'm investigating different crimes and different missing people and different crime stories. And you start to learn from that. Oh, just over time, just experience over time. So I believe the police do too. So I don't think they're stupid. I think they think similar things that we do, but they ain't getting nothing done, right? They're not getting much done right now, not in the public eye. So they searched the first week, scaled the search back. And then, of course, this weekend, they said, okay, we're going to be out there in full force one more time to search. That, to me, was, okay, let's make 100% sure these kids ain't in the woods. Okay, let's make sure before we go in on the 4 main suspects. Okay, now I'm not saying these 4 people are guilty of anything. Okay, I'm not saying that. Don't come for me, Canada. I want to visit Canada, but just not in handcuffs. Okay, just not in handcuffs, being riding on the back of a moose. Okay, with a Mountie and a moose, Rocky and Bullwinkle. I don't want to do it. Okay, I want to visit under my own terms. So I'm not saying these people have done anything. I'm just saying who the top 4 suspects are to me. And I believe a lot of you guys, but I don't speak for you because it's not an echo chamber. You don't have to believe nothing I'm saying here. Okay. I'm not trying to force my beliefs on you. I just have a channel and I get to give my opinion, and opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one. And I'm just going to share mine. Okay. Yours don't have to match mine. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure we all use different types of toilet paper. Okay. The stepdad, suspect number 1. Okay. I got 2 number 1 suspects. The mother. Okay. Now listen, I don't like to blame parents for stuff. I don't. I truly don't. And people think I do it a lot because I do. I can't help it. But there's a million families out there that I don't think the families have anything to do with it. But I only talk about foul play cases. So usually I have something to say about a certain family member. And I believe that the mother's just as suspect as the stepdad. Okay. The Joe Dirt, kid is hard to get past. The inner fighting while you have a missing kid, like you couldn't put the petty shit beside until to find your kid. To me, it's suspect. Okay. The stepdad not being able to cry, faking like he's crying, and outrunning helicopters is what he said. How the hell you outrun a helicopter? Show me that. Okay. Up the water this high, right? He checked everywhere, but he couldn't do it anymore. I don't buy it. It's suspect to me. His mama, okay, that lives on the property in a Winnebago that probably should be sitting in a junkyard. Okay. Probably should be in a junkyard somewhere, in a scrapyard, maybe, even in a scrapyard somewhere, possibly. But I had to say, she did have some nice new steps on that damn raggedy ass Winnebago. Listen, she was there in this RV and his weird ass brother. My 4 suspects. Okay. These 4 people were home when these kids went missing. Now, this ain't a kid that went missing with one parent in bed. This ain't kids went missing with 2 family members there. These ain't kids that went missing with 3 family members there. These are kids that went missing in the middle of nowhere with 4 family members at that residence. Okay. 4 people there. And then all 4 of them people, not one person seen what happened to these kids. Okay, let me tell you now. When they find these kids, they need a show in Vegas because they disappeared better than Chris Angel, David Copperfield, David Blaine, the mask musician. I mean, better than all of them. Just vanished, poof, gone, not a trace, right? Not a footstep, not a dog trail, not nothing. Here's my thing. Kids don't just vanish. Okay. I don't know how many times I can say this on YouTube. I'm almost like a broken record at this point, right? You want Dolly soap? Okay, there's some Dolly soap in stock. PJ was just working on some Dolly soap. I ain't been plugging the soap lately because we've been so busy doing true crime and traveling and things like that. But it is the best soap out. And if you ain't tried Dolly soap, once you try it, you're going to be like, the hell with this rest of this soap. And everybody thinks it's a joke, but I really do. I make some of the best soap out there. All natural products, all natural ingredients. It makes your skin feel so smooth, right? And there's so many people that have purchased and keep continuing to purchase. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you don't believe me, ask some of the people that have tried Dolly soap and get yourself some. And it helps us, pay these damn light bills. These lights are bright, okay? So the 4 suspects, right? Unless there's a stranger danger. But you want me to tell you what my other red flag is? Real fast, I'll tell you, because I know y'all want to know. And even if you don't want to know, I'm still going to tell you, okay? I think I forgot. I think I forgot that quick. That's how quick my mind goes blank. Okay. What was my other red flag? Oh, talking about the kids in past tense. Okay. As soon as they go missing, you're up here, you're talking about the kids in past tense. All right. That's usually like, these kids ain't coming back once you start talking about, Jack was this or Jack. You should be talking about these kids in the present, right? And the biggest one I had forgot, now I remember, is them building an alibi for themselves. Oh, these kids would talk to anybody. They would get in the car with anybody. Okay. Now that don't sound like somebody that's building an alibi for themselves, right? Because one thing as parents, we know stranger danger. Stranger danger. Okay. Don't talk to that fucking weirdo over there, right? We don't know that guy. Right. You should, you should have your kids where they don't run up to people, don't get in the cars with people. What do we tell our kids? Don't take candy from strangers or weird dudes in Boston named Tom. Don't do it. Okay. Even as a grown ass man, people have seen this. I was in Boston. This weird ass cult leader. I think he was trying to get me to join his cult. Not sure. Can't be positive. But he walked up and he asked me, did I want a piece of candy? Right? And I told his old ass, if you don't get away from me with your shit, I don't want your damn candy. Okay? I don't want your candy. Right? I've been locked up. You don't take candy. You do not take candy from another grown ass man. I don't care if you like the candy. Okay? If it's your favorite candy, you don't do it. Okay? Get your weird ass and your candy the hell away from me before I break my foot off in your ass. Okay? And I like candy. I eat candy all the time. But I won't eat his damn candy. Nah, ain't gonna happen. So from a young age, I was taught not to take candy from strangers. Don't get in the candy van, right? Don't never do that. Never help a person look for their missing dog, right? When they're walking around with dog bones. I'm looking for my dog. You want to help me? Hell no. F you and your missing damn dog. I ain't going nowhere with you. You know why? Because I was raised right. Okay. I was raised to know that everybody's crazy and everybody's a killer and they just want your cheeks. Okay. I think the dude in Boston wanted my cheeks. I don't know, but I ain't taking no chances because I just don't give up my cheeks like that. Right. At all costs, you protect your cheeks. So to have your kids being like, oh, well, yeah, they'll talk to anybody. They'll get in a car with anybody. Dolly, you take free hugs. I take free hugs. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. It depends what you look like. Uh-huh. They went, well, the last known proof of life for these children were, and thank you for your donation, was Tuesday. Okay. They were seen by the school bus driver, of course, alive on Tuesday. And these kids have a little bit, when you don't show them no attention, the bus driver said Jack would throw his shoe at you, his boot. And then, of course, we seen Lilly at the birthday party, right? When you don't pay Lilly attention, boys, she screams loud enough to break glass. So that's what I mean. If this kid would have been a mile away and got hurt, she screamed so loud, you would have heard her. Okay. That kid is loud. And you can believe if they were outside playing, they're loud enough, they would have woke up the mother and the stepbrother or the brother. Oh, he ain't a stepbrother. I keep, because we got the stepdad, right? Which he ain't even a stepdad. He's just some chick that, malehya was banging and had a kid with. They ain't married, right? But they say common law, so you look together so long, you're technically married. But, and then
my red flag. My grandgirls kept theirs clean always. Clothes, foods, toys, backpack suggests going away.
yeah, right. Okay, the backpack, I believe. You ever notice that he said the backpack would probably be brown and dirty when they found it, if they found it? So he was suggesting they may find this backpack and it would be brown and dirty. Why would he say something like that? Red flag, add another red flag. I don't know how many red flags we at right now, but yeah, Lily was supposed to go to school that day. They never checked on her. Did little Lily get up and get herself ready for school, go out to the street thinking she's going to get on the school bus, even though she would have been late, and somebody grab her? I mean, there's that possibility, but you got to remember, it's like being struck by lightning. You got to be at the right place right when a kidnapper is going by, okay? In the middle of nowhere. Like, okay, this kidnappers just happen to be in the middle of nowhere, and there just happens to be a kid, okay? That they don't know what's going to be there, but just is there. So, and then usually kidnappers don't snatch 2 kids at a time. I mean, it's happened, okay? Kids have been abducted in couples, but it's usually people grab 1 kid. Okay, 1 kid kind of wanders from the pack and they grab that kid or something like that. So, I mean, the odds of that happening, it ain't impossible. It happened in Fruitland, Idaho. We know that. Kid wandered outside, kidnappers, and that was multiple kidnappers, kidnapped the little kid and allegedly, from what the police in Idaho are saying, unalived the kid. The kid's no longer with us. And that kid is Monkey Michael Vaughn. His mother is one of the sweetest people in true crime that I've had the pleasure to meet and go see and meet her family. And I feel so sorry for this woman. Her health is kind of bad right now. So make sure y'all throw a little prayer out there for Brandy Vaughn. And I believe that her health problems stem from what happened to her child. She's been so stressed and so worried and, so involved that it's taken a toll on her health. Now, you look at Brandy Neal, and then you look at Malehya. Okay, we see 2 different things. Brandy Neal cries. You get around her, you will cry. Okay, she'll make you cry. You'll be crying together, right? That's kind of how it was when I sat with her. Like, she made me cry. I was trying to interview her for YouTube, and I just couldn't. I was fighting tears, right? She's crying. And we're talking about. You can feel her sadness. You can see it. You can feel it. There is no doubt this woman has been put through the damn ringer, and it tears your heart out to be around her. Even to see her, it just still to this day, it absolutely, every time I see Brandy Neal, it breaks my heart. And then you look at Malehya. She didn't shed a tear. Didn't seem too concerned about, I hope they come home. I didn't sleep well last night. I think you should be more worried about your kid and how you're sleeping. Okay. I wouldn't sleep at all. I'd be in the woods all night searching for my child. I wouldn't be like, yeah, I didn't sleep good last night. I bet you didn't. I wouldn't have slept at all. I wouldn't even have laid my head down. You would have found me in the woods somewhere asleep, just fell asleep standing up. But, this lady packed up and left. And then, we got Danielson, right? Danielson out there saying, this is hard on the family. This is hard on Malehya. How the hell do you know who it's hard on? Yeah, the lady done left you, and there's rumors out here. Now, this is pure rumors, okay? But I know you guys have heard it because y'all been following this case. That she already has a new boyfriend. Has anybody heard that? Anybody? Just press yes or no in the chat. Have y'all heard that? I mean, I don't know how true it is, right? But I heard that. I was like, honestly, it wouldn't shock me. Okay. It wouldn't shock me. Rumor alert. Yes, definitely rumor. I want y'all to know this is a rumor I heard. I heard that. Yes. See, so it wasn't just me that heard it. Right? I'm thinking, is it true? I don't know. I mean, I don't know, but would it shock you? Would you be shocked to find out she has a new beau? I don't think it wouldn't really shock me. Okay. I'm just being honest. It would be like, can you believe that, Dolly? Yeah, I can fucking believe it. I can believe anything. This world we live in is absolutely insane. It's crazy. Okay. So I don't know if she has a new boyfriend or not. But I just know that during the prime time of her child missing, she reactivates her Facebook and she posts single. Didn't post. My kids are missing. Help me find my kids. Kidnapper, please release my child. No, none of that. I mean, that would make too much sense, right? That'd be too easy. She didn't post that. She posted single, right? Like some dude's gonna hit you up and be like, "Hey, babe, you want to go out tonight?" Right? Like I've been waiting for you to be single for 6 months. I had my eyes on you. I've been watching you like a stalker, right? Don't you think you should be more concerned about your child than your relationship status on Facebook? Another red flag, okay? Another red flag. Don't lock me up, Canada. I'm just telling you what I see, okay? I'm just telling you, this is America. this is America. We have a right to opinion. I'm just saying, okay? Like she's gonna go out on a date while her kid is missing. What the hell is going on? Okay. Do I live in a parallel universe or am I still in the right place? Right? Am I still in the right place? Like now that you single, girl, you ain't got no kids. Well, you still got the one. She still has what is her name? Meadow. Okay, which is a beautiful name, right? For your kid. I think that's an awesome name. Just I would, here's the thing: when parents got missing kids and they don't seem too concerned and they got another kid, that kind of worries me, right? Like, and I hate to say this, but I think 3 kids, I know there's some of you women out here, y'all are troopers. Y'all like way better than men. Okay. Like, I don't know men, maybe there's some men out here that could deal with 3 small children. I mean, I don't personally know none. Okay. But you women that be having like 3, 4, kids that are like 2, 3, 5, every year having a baby and you're walking around with 3 kids. I don't know how the hell you can do it and not lose your mind. Well, I mean, probably be bald headed from ripping your damn hair out. See right there, Cupcake. I got 4. You guys are troopers. Okay. I got to give y'all so much respect. Like I as a man, I couldn't do it. I couldn't. I wouldn't hurt my kids, but I would fucking I'd be balder than I already am. Okay. My hairline be back here instead of right here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how you do it. Right. And especially a young mother, I just think that stress, and some people say, postpartum depression, she's just had a baby and she's had all these kids young and I know it has to be hard on her. Anybody raising 3 kids, young kids, or 4 or 5, right? It has to be hard. Okay, has to be. Yeah, I mean, one child is a lot, right? My kid, I spent the day with my daughter today, right? I took her, got her oil changed, and everything I did, she was like, "Well, you shouldn't do that." Okay. I think I ate something. She was like, you had a heart attack. You probably shouldn't be eating that. Okay. I'm thinking, am I the parent or you the parent? Because I feel like right now I'm getting parented. You know what I'm saying? So, then I helped her do some things because she's into these little Korean boy bands. So she's making all these things to give away at this concert she's going to. So I was helping her with that. And it was like everything I did, she said something about. Like, could you stop chewing so loud? I'm like, damn, I'm in my own house. I can't even chew, right? I can't even chew. I can't eat food that may give me a heart attack, right? So she was on me, right? And I'm thinking, if I had 3 of her, okay, and she's 25, okay? If I had 3 of her, I'd be insane in a mental hospital, okay? Or I would never chew or eat any food, okay? I just wouldn't. She may be in the room. I better be quiet, okay? I seen her earlier in here, okay? So I better what I'm saying. So it got to be hard on people, and everybody needs a break. Even, malehya, whatever her name is, and even Daniel, you need a break sometimes. And, they had family, and it seems like they had, the mother on both sides were around. And I don't know if this is a case where these people were overwhelmed by these kids, because these were kids with special needs. So regular kids are hard enough. I mean, we know that as parents out here, right? If you're a parent, you already know. I ain't even got to tell you. Especially when you add those special needs to the situation. Did one of these parents get aggravated? Did they get to a point to where they snapped, or they couldn't take it? I pray to God that's not the case. I hope I'm wrong in this. I do. And I try to share that with people all the time is, listen, when I'm wrong, that means it's good news, right? Because I'm kind of the doom and gloom person. I think everybody's a killer. And I didn't always think like that until I got into true crime. True crime made me this way. Okay. I thought everybody was good people in the beginning. Now I realize that even I watch my back when I'm coming out of places. This world's crazy. People kill you for next to nothing. Right. So I think true crime has made me the doom and gloom person. Usually I'm just goofy, happy to be, just happy living. Right. But now I'm more skeptical of people. I don't trust people as much, because I see all these things go on in the world we live in, and so much of it. There's so much of it. I can't even cover it all. Right. And I just feel something bad has happened to these kids at the hands of people that's supposed to love them. Now, here's the thing. Even if they didn't harm these kids that day, they're still responsible for what is going on. Now, I don't trust 4 people over here. I've been listening to this psychic lady, and this psychic lady, if I was a psychic, her predictions are pretty much like I would say. And we're going to take a little listen to what she said. She believes that there's 3 people involved. Okay. Now, it's funny because I said kind of similar. Now, I got 4 suspects, but I don't believe the mother of Daniel's son has anything to do with it. Right? Because she's raised kids. She's older. Usually when you get older, it don't fit the profile of the grandmother or step grandmother to harm the kids. Okay. But just something in this whole thing gives me Audrey Cunningham vibes. Right. And for anybody that's familiar with Audrey Cunningham, she was from Texas. She lived with her family. And her family didn't do nothing to her. Her family was great, to be honest. Okay. But they had a guy living in a Winnebago behind the house. I guess that's the similarities I've seen it. But their family was great. But they dropped the ball because they let this person be involved in their child's life. And he was a weirdo. Okay. And my money is on the brother. Okay, this is what I'm getting. Okay, Judy. All right. They let this man live with them, and he unalived their kid, and he beat her with a rock, bludgeoned her with a rock, tied her to a rock, and threw her in a river. Okay. EquiSearch, thank God for EquiSearch, do great work here in the States. They were able to find Audrey Cunningham. And then, of course, once he was arrested, he went crazy and started, throwing feces and acting nutty as hell. But the family said, hey, they thought he was a good guy and everybody deserved a second chance. They knew he had been in prison. And I'm thinking, you knew this dude had been in prison and you let this dude have a relationship with your small child. Now, I don't know Daniel's brother. I don't know. Right? I'm just saying that it gives me these kind of vibes. Dude living in Winnebago, ain't got much going for him, and does something horrible to a child. It wouldn't be the first time something like this has happened. So I kind of got those vibes early on. And Daniel kind of gives me Chris Watts vibes, right? Like, how Chris Watts wouldn't be in front of the camera and he made himself out to be so good. And in reality, he was a monster. That's kind of the vibes I get from Daniel. Now, I ain't saying I can't be wrong. I'm just saying, what vibes I get from these people, right? I'm thinking, okay, dude, you're a grown ass man. You living in a little RV in the back of your brother's house. It happens. Some people are broke and they do it, right? But you ain't got much going on with you, right? You ain't got much going on with you. So when you ain't got nothing, you really ain't got much to lose, do you? That's how that's how I look at it. You ain't got shit to lose. People that have worked hard, they don't want to lose anything they got. They've worked their whole life to get the things they got. They got a little less. They got more to lose. is all I'm saying. When you got a bunch of stuff and you've worked hard and you built your empire, you got a lot to lose. And some of these people don't have shit to lose, and they act out, right? Prison ain't much different than living in a 4x4 RV. Okay, the prison cell might be bigger than the RV. So I'm just saying, I get really bad vibes from the brother Daniel and the mother. I kind of give the grandmother the benefit of the doubt. Okay, and this is what made it so weird, because this psychic lady, this what's her name? I forget her name. True Crime with Mara. Okay. She said the same thing. She believes that there's 3 people involved. And I was just thinking to myself, I think so too. I think there's this is something. And here's another red flag. Okay. Since I'm throwing out red flags, is the first interview she gave, which is the only interview she gave. And then the first interviews that Danielson gave, they were almost identical. It's like they wanted to say this kid had been kidnapped. They kept pushing the picture that they'll talk to anybody, they'll get in the car with anybody. She said it, he said it, and these interviews were done at 2 different locations when they wasn't together. To me, that interview sounded scripted. Okay, now I want to do a quick poll. There's 1,600 of you in here, but first, I need y'all to like the video. I guarantee you, here's my psychic ability. I don't even believe we're at 1,000 likes yet. So that means there's 1,600 in the room. Let me check my sense. I don't even think we're at 1,000 likes yet. Somebody tell me. But if you haven't, hit the like button. Okay, because it helps in the algorithm. 797 likes. Okay, I see my psychic abilities are on point tonight. So that means almost half of y'all didn't hit the like button. Half. Okay, that's like you came in my house, you didn't ring the doorbell, you didn't wipe your feet off, right? Nothing. You just came up in this bitch like, bam, I'm here. Okay, you got to ring the bell. Okay, you got to ring the bell. You got to knock something, right? So hit the like button, and this is what I want to ask you guys. But like the video first. If you believe there is foul play in this case, like the video, okay? And then press 1 in the chat room. Now, if you believe that these kids wandered off, press 2, okay? 1, foul play. 2, they wandered off, but like the video first, okay? I see all ones so far. Now, if you believe that they wandered off, be honest. This ain't an echo chamber. You can believe anything you want to believe here. I'm not mad at you. You don't have to agree with me. You can have your own opinion in this chat room. That's because we're an open discussion channel. We discuss things here, so we want your opinion. 3, you're undecided. Okay. That's the first 3 I've seen. That's a good undecided one. I'm not quite sure. Or, the brother did it. Right? Wait. I thought I seen it too. Did I see it? No, that was a question mark. Okay. All right. I thought I seen it too for a minute. Oh, here's a 2. Okay. You believe they wandered off? And listen, Margaret, you could absolutely be right, and at this point, like, I hate to say this, the best thing that could have happened right now, the best chances of these kids being alive would be if somebody did grab them, because maybe they grabbed them, they're keeping them somewhere. And if a clue comes out, the police find them, the kids could be okay. If they're in those woods after 2 weeks with no survival training, no food, no water, the odds of them being alive is super, super slim. Okay. I see taken. I ain't saying it's impossible. They police will not rule out abduction. They will not. So if the police are not ruling it out, we can't rule it out. Right? Listen, I believe that the family suspect, of course, but that don't mean they did it. Some people act guilty. Okay. Not many. Right? But some people act guilty. I've seen families, well, I can't say that. The people I think act guilty, I believe they're still guilty. Okay, I was going to use a Tennessee family as an example, but them people, I still believe they guilty. But that's my opinion. I don't have any proof, because there was proof these people would be in jail. But as you see from the thumbnail, somebody's going to go to jail on this. They know at this point, them kids are not in those woods. And if them kids ain't in them woods, that means them kids did not wander off. That means that them 4 people on that property, they got some explaining to do. Now, I know this. You guys know this. And if we know this, I'm confident that the Canadian Mounted Police know this. Okay? Now, a lot of people believe the reason they haven't charged them with anything, child neglect or anything like that, is that they'll lawyer up. They'll get a lawyer and they'll stop talking. And we can, right now the police don't want that. It would have been the same way in the Sebastian Rogers case. Thank you so much, Kat, for your super sticker. Thank you guys that have been liking the videos, donating. Dolly got to eat. Okay, I got to eat too. All right. So thank you. Welcome to the Blessed Express tonight. The Dolly train, baby. The Dolly train. Sometimes we go off the tracks a little bit, but we get back on. We get back on every now and then. So I believe, the criminal investigation really started the day after they went missing. But now that the search has kind of wrapped up, I don't believe there will be any more major searches. Somebody said that BHB go look for them. Come on, Kayla. Come on now. All right. Come on. You know better than that. You know better than that. Next thing you know, she'll be their PR person. I wonder if TikTok Tony is calling them right now. He's probably trying to get a passport, right? He wants to be the international PR person at this point. Good Lord. Next time you see him, he's going to be standing beside Daniel. When they get a PR person, I'm quitting YouTube. Okay, I'm done. Right at that point, I'm like, oh, hell no, I am out. I'm surprised JLR is not there. Okay, JLR, I don't think can go to Canada. You got to remember, JLR was in the federal penitentiary for getting white collar crime, not money laundering, but fraud. He was in there for fraud. So he's changed his way. He's become a better person. True crime. He's just been doing general, like everything lately. Not even so much true crime. I wouldn't even call JLR a true crimer. I like him better when he's doing true crime. Right now, he just does a little bit of everything, and I like the true crime. But I guess his channel is blown up. A lot of subscribers, 300,000 subscribers. So shout out to him for the success. But I like him better as a true crime guy. Okay, not now he's kind of like I don't know. It's like a Ickmail or what's that other dude that does the news? Has the really, really big channel. I'll think of his name in a minute. But I like JLR's true crime. I usually watch him when he's doing true crime stuff, but I don't usually watch the rest of the stuff because it just don't interest me. Nothing against JLR. It's just that stuff don't interest me. Right? I like true crime, so I watch a lot of true crime stuff. You got me squirreled. I don't even know where I was going with that. But no, they're not there. Okay, they're not there. And I don't have a passport. Okay. If I had a passport, I would be there. I'd go. Right. But I don't have a passport. And at this point, I'm working on trying to get one. And it's going to take me at least 6 weeks. The mom is kind of weird too. I agree with you, Lisa. I completely agree with you. I think emotionless is the key word for that. So people were telling me that, this psychic lady is saying a lot of the similar things that I've been saying. So I want to check out a little tiny bit of this before we open up the phone lines of what she had to say. And let me blow this up right here. I want to see how close it is. Because when I heard it, I was like, yep, she's psychic. Because it was similar to what I was saying. hide. This is True Crime with Mara, Mara. So if you enjoy her content, make sure you go over, sub up her channel, give her a like, all that good stuff. If you're into the psychics, some people don't believe psychics. I'm one of those people. I'm a psychic skeptic. Okay, I just am. Um, I'm one of those show me, right? Give me the lotto numbers, and then once you do, I will believe you psychic. Okay.
Hey guys, I am Psychic Mara. This is an intuitive psychic reading for Lily and Jack. They are still missing right out of Nova Scotia, Canada. I wanted to use my intuitive gift,
Set
my
me up on
psychic
the Blessed
abilities,
Express.
and
Heart hands emoji.
Set me up on the Blessed Express. Dolly Good 66. Grab you a nice window seat. Buckle up, right? We're listening to a psychic medium, or well, a true crime psychic. She intuitive is what the word she used. Intuitive. Now I think, you know, I ain't psychic. I just been there, done that. You know, it comes. I don't think, you know. I think I'm right more than I'm wrong, only because I've done this so long, right? It ain't really psychic abilities. I'm more of an empath. I feel people's emotions. Like I said, if I can get around you and I'm in your presence, I'll know if she is Canadian. Okay, all right. I'll know if you did it. All I gotta do is be in proximity of you. Now I can tell a little bit online, but when I'm around you, I always say, some people say, Dolly, you're empath. I always say I'm a vibe person. Like I can feel your vibe. Like if you're sad, I feel your sadness. If you're happy, I'll be happy with you. If you lying and I'm in your person, I can tell. I can just tell. I don't know what it is. Every person I've got around, as soon as I got around them, I known if they did it or they didn't do it. Right. And then once I know, like once that radar goes off, it ain't no telling me no different. Right. Brooke, thank you so much for your super sticker. Grab you a nice seat on the Blessed Express and let's do this. See, right there, misunderstood said I pick up vibes. That's hypersensitive empath, right? Well, everybody got their name for it. I just say, hey, I can feel your vibes, right? I don't get into the whole psychic, let me collect crystals and damn flip over tarot cards. But I've told people for the last 3 years, if I get around you, I'll know if you did it. Right. So I like to spend some time. That's why I go and spend time with these families and go meet them and talk to them. It's because once I do, I know. I know. And I know it sounds crazy and you ain't got to believe me. I'm not trying to force that on you to believe what I say, but I'm just letting you know if I'm in your presence and you say some bullshit, I'm going to know it's bullshit. I'll know if you're guilty or innocent within 30 seconds of being around you. Now, I can't really do that on the internet. I can get a vibe like what I think, but it's something else. It's the energy. Like I can feel your energy. I don't know how to explain that to people, but it's true.
I want to also channel any energies that come in for Lily and Jack. I will
Call it
light
spider
this tea light
senses.
candle and get
Absolutely,
started.
Kat.
Real quick, this cute little candle is infused with crystals and tea leaves. Yeah, crystals and tea leaves, okay? Very, very powerful little tea light candle here, and this is what I will light. This is what I usually use when I'm channeling or picking up energy, okay? Works very, very well with my energy.
Emily, Are you still friends with Betty? Last time I was around is when you guys were protesting for baby Quentin Simon. Just wondering because to me, I unfollowed. She's gone crazy. In my opinion, glad to see you're the same. Listen, I don't hate Betty. I don't hate anybody. Do I associate these days with Betty? No, she said so many mean things about me that I don't know what is going on with that woman. Don't wish her nothing but the best, right? Like everybody, I don't wish bad things on people, because when you wish bad things on people, it always comes back. Does she say some of the most crazy, insane shit? Absolutely. And it's stuff that I totally disagree with. And maybe one day, when she heals from whatever rock she hit her head on, maybe we could be acquaintances, right? Acquaintances, I guess the best word. If I say friend, I would say frenemy. Okay. I don't have no problem with Betty, honestly. I wish she would do good, right? And I think some of the things I say about her is because I've seen the good, her do good, and I've seen her do bad. So I know there's some good way down deep. I'm talking really fucking deep there. But lately, only the bad has came out, and hopefully she gets
Dolly's
back.
got to eat fund.
Thank
Lol.
you. Thank you. Hopefully she gets back to searching for kids, advocating for kids the right way. Okay. And stops messing with people that are fakes and frauds. That's the best advice I could give to Betty. But she don't take advice, right? I've tried to give her plenty of advice, and she don't listen to that shit. So talking to her is like talking to yourself. She said she acknowledges what you're saying to her, and then she steps away from you and does exactly what you told her not to do. So I mean, more power to her. I mean, everybody's their own individual, and I don't wish no bad on her. But I wish she would stop saying crazy things and doing crazy things in these missing kid cases.
Spirit, tell me about Jack and Lilly. Anything you would like to share about missing sister and brother Jack and Lilly?
Lee, nothing has been said about the polygraph test. The only thing that's been said about the polygraph, of course, is the stepdad saying that he's willing to give a polygraph, that he wants to take a polygraph because so many skeptics don't believe his story, and the family don't believe his story. So he wants to give the polygraph so he can clear that up. Now, is that the sign of an innocent man, or is that somebody trying to get the heat off his back? As far as I know, no polygraph has been done. He's requested it. And I mean, I would think if you requested it, the police, I don't believe polygraphs anyway. Ted Bundy passed the polygraph test. Okay. He was butchering women, bashing their brains in, and he passed a lie detector test. There's been a lot of criminals over the history that have passed them. That's why you can't use a lie detector test in court. They say it's a good way to see if you're nervous to continue the investigation as an investigation tool, but you can't use a lie detector test in court. So, and can you really tell when somebody's lying? Here's the thing about being a pathological liar. If you're a pathological liar, you believe your own lies. And if you believe your lies, then you would be telling the truth, right? To you. So that's truthful to you. Did Lilly call that dude daddy? That I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know. But the rumors on the street, Malehya's calling somebody else daddy. That's just the rumors. But what I'm saying is, if you believe your own lies, you can go in and pass a lie detector test. There's ways to pass these tests. They're not accurate. There's really no way to tell when somebody's a really good liar. There's no way to tell they're lying. Just to be honest, I never believed or had too much trust in lie detectors tests because I've seen too many people guilty of crimes actually pass these tests. And I've seen innocent people fail these tests. So that right there tells you that they're bullshit. Thank you for becoming a member, Janet. That is an awesome way to keep Dolly alive. Okay. I just felt my heartbeat. Boop, boop. Okay. Thank you so much for joining. That's awesome of you, becoming a member. So I don't believe them.
I hear they are at peace. So this tells me they did. I need to be careful. So I'm saying allegedly cross over to the other side. Jack and Lily are with the angels. They are deceased, allegedly. Two men, excuse me.
Listen, this is so bad though, because statistically, and I'm just going to say statistically, these kids are deceased. Statistically. Now, that don't mean they are. Okay, I want to make sure y'all absolutely clear that. Statistically, this is the psychic girl. She believes they're deceased. I'm going to agree statistically that most likely these children, sad as it is, and they're beautiful kids, are deceased. That don't mean they are. They could be out there. They could have been abducted. We ain't ruling anything out here at Dolly Vision. Nothing. Right? Kidnapping by family did something. Family hit them. We don't know. Right now, there's not strong enough evidence to say what exactly happened to them, but there is enough evidence to say that the family is suspicious. All right.
Two men did take them away. Two men.
Could that be Daniel's son
There
and his
is
brother?
a female, a mother figure who is very aware of what happened. There are 3 people in total who are responsible for the disappearance of Jack and Lily. 3 people in total, 2 men and 1 woman.
Okay, so she says 3 people in total. I can tell you this for a fact. 2 people are responsible that I know of. There could be 3 people, but 2 people for a fact that should have been watching them kids, checking on them kids, going to see if Lily was still sick and she needed anything. Should have been going to go check and see if Jack needed his pull-up changed. Should have been cooking these kids breakfast, and that is the mother and the stepfather, right? No matter how this is played out, we're looking at a case of neglect. Okay, now listen, they could have been great parents for 364 days, but this day, they were neglectful. They didn't check on them. They didn't do their job as parents. And even if the kids got out the door, it's their fault that they did. By that time of day, they should have been up. They should have been checking on those kids to make sure everything was all right. They didn't do that. To me, them 2 people failed them 2 children that day. Okay. So she may be right. It may be 3 people, but no matter even if the kids were kidnapped, even if they were kidnapped by a stranger, these 2 parents still have responsibility in that because they didn't do their parenting job that day. Okay. They didn't do it that day. They didn't check on them. They were more concerned about sleeping in. Maybe they stayed up late. But what gets me is they didn't feed the kids. They didn't check on the kids. And then when they didn't hear the kids, they instantly knew the kids were gone. Why didn't they check the bedroom? It's just so much inconsistencies and things that don't make sense that I would, like I said, they're my suspects. They're the 2 number 1 suspects. I hold Daniel's son and malehya in the same thing. Like you're both number 1. You ain't like number 1 and number 2. Y'all both my number 1 suspects. The brother is my second suspect. I don't trust him. And Ford being a mother of Daniel because she's there. Does she know? And then Daniel and his brother have done something and malehya knows about it? Because here's the thing. A lot of people believe they went missing that Friday, that Friday that they didn't go to, they didn't go to school. They went missing that day. But a lot of people believe they came up missing Wednesday. right? Which was a day off. Thursday, they didn't show up for school. A lot of people believe they were gone, that Lily wasn't sick, that they had done something with Lily, and that's the reason she didn't go to school. Here's the thing. Why didn't Jack show up? If Lily had a cough, why didn't they still send Jack? So Lily's sick, but Jack don't go to school either. It don't make a lot of sense. It's awful convenient they missed school the day before, and then the next day they're missing. I don't believe in coincidences. I just don't.
This is what Spirit shares with me.
All right, let's get to it. A lot of dramatic pauses here. Them spirits are slow.
The kids got into something. I do see whooping, something about whooping, whooped. I'm starting to see feathers in my third eye. So there's angels around the kids' remains. There's angels, a few of them. They're pushing for the kids to be found. The angels are getting ready to guide someone to where the kids are.
All right, Mara, we got to get these damn angels moving a little bit quicker. Okay, we got to get them. Hey, could you fly a little bit faster? We need to get there soon. We need to get there soon. I'm impatient. I told y'all that at the beginning of the stream. I need my shit right now. Can we tell these angels to hurry up and get to the fucking point? We need it quick. I guess that's probably the reason angels don't talk to me. All right, they don't say shit to me. I ain't had an angel come to me once and been like, hey, they just like, yo, skip over this idiot. Okay, we ain't got shit to say to him.
Hidden, because they're hidden. I see they're buried under something. Yeah, they're under something. They're inside or under something. Lily and Jack.
And I hate to say this, we need to light a fire up under these angels, right? We need to we got to get you moving. All right, we got to get that blood flowing or something, right? Get them angel wings a flapping, get you moving.
The angels will guide this person or persons to where they are. There will be a huge discovery, and I feel it's coming any day now. I also hear upcoming week.
Bliss, I believe what you're saying. I think they had time to get them children away from there. Now, I take, psychics right here with a grain of salt, right? Just I use it entertainment. But what she says is similar to what I believe anyway, right? Like, is it possible that people have premonitions? I do believe certain people do have premonitions. I believe in psychic ability. I just don't think people can really tap into it at will, right? I think it's a gift from God kind of gift. And I mean, I don't know. I can't be 100% certain. I've watched true crime on like TV, and certain psychics have solved criminal cases, like new details that the police didn't know. No way they could have knew it unless they committed the crime, right? That's the bad thing about psychics. If they commit the crime, of course, they know all the answers, right? So, but I have seen psychics that have been right and helped solve murders. So here's the thing is I take it with a grain of salt, but I do believe there's the possibility that some people do hold some abilities. My biggest thing is when they're like, all right, let me tap into this, right? I don't think it's like that in my mind. I think like God gives you a vision and he just don't keep giving them to you. I don't think, right? But I could be wrong. I mean, I could be absolutely wrong. That's why, like, I've had so many psychics tell me to look places because, I hunt for missing people. And they'll be like, look here, the damn find the beaver in the rock and the tree with the split in it. And then you're out in the woods and you're looking for a fucking beaver and a tree. And you know, and I haven't had one be right yet. Okay. And I ain't saying there won't come along a psychic that is right. Right. So I give them a chance because look, I'm already searching anyway. I think
I think the stepdad's dad transported the bodies. Hasn't he been asking Love for updates?
Yes, yes, that's a red flag too. That Daniel's son has been going up to the command center and he's been asking for updates on what the police know. So, but like I said, you know, these psychic people, when they say stuff, I'm out there searching anyway. So if they say, hey, go look here, or you know, I will. I don't usually expect to think I'm going to find anything, but I always give it that shot. Like, what's it going to hurt? I'm looking anyway, right? So if somebody says, hey, I had a vision and there's a red barn, and by that red barn's a tree, and then there's a big rock, and if you go 10 paces to the left, you know, I give them that, right? Because I'm already there. I've done it for Reverend Donna Serafina, look places she said. And I've looked different places that other psychics have said. But yet, you know, most of the time they haven't been right. But you never know. We may run across a psychic one day that is dead on.
Upcoming week. Any day now. Huge discovery. Jack and Lilly.
See, I said there would be an arrest by Friday. I was wrong. Okay. And that's my impatience, I think, because I want it to happen so fast. I think people already know there's some foul play, right? Like you don't got to even have spidey senses to know there's some type of foul play that's happened. Now, has it happened with the parents doing it, or did it happen with a stranger doing it? But I don't think most of us believe those kids ran off into the woods. So that's why I kept thinking, you know, there's an arrest coming. There's going to be an arrest coming. So my timing was a little off on that. So my spidey senses were, and they were tingling, but they wasn't right. Okay, they wasn't right. But I still think that this is going to be a fairly quick case. I don't think it's going to drag out. Lisa, thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you for your donations, keeping the Dolly train going down the tracks. All right. I'll get to eat this week. Thank you. Thank you very much. So she may be right that there's something coming. And if these people, they always say, if you're going to commit a crime, do it by yourself. Because if you do it with somebody else, that's going to be the person that tells on you. Okay. So if you have a co-defendant.
Dolly, Mara is the only one I believe because I have written down her world predictions and over she has been right. And she is a Christian and believes her gift is from God.
Okay. All right. I just know that what she's saying is really close to what I believe is happening. So that's why I've been checking her out. It's like, because, you know, I went through the first psychics and I was like, oh, hell no. Nah. And then I got to this lady and she was really similar. And I think of what all of us think. And it could just be, you know, I don't know if she's psychic or not, but I just think anybody with a little bit of common sense, just a little, it don't even take a whole lot, would be on the same page that we're on. I mean, if you look, there's 1,600 of us in here all night long, and we've been pretty much on the same page of, hey, there's some foul play involved in this, right? So something's going to happen. And if it don't, oh my God, I'm going to be starting to think that don't go to Canada. If you can do crimes like this and then there's no answers for them, I don't want to visit Canada. What if I come up missing? Right? You know what I'm saying? I won't have no faith in the Canadian police if something ain't done about this, right? If something ain't done, because I plan on coming to Canada. I've already planned on it. When I went to Niagara Falls, I said, I seen Toronto. I was like, I'm going to Canada. It's just a matter of time. I don't know exactly when, but if they have terrible police force and the fucking place ain't safe, you know, you would think Canada is safe, right? I don't know. I might have to skip my visit to Canada. I hope so.
I hear master plan. So someone came up with a master plan to hide the kids.
I believe that
The
too.
motive for hiding the kids is to hide the physical abuse that is very noticeable on both Jack and Lilly, allegedly.
Okay. So there's fit. She says, there's signs of abuse on the kids. And the reason they did the motive is because they didn't want, well, Dolly, you go to Tennessee. Yeah, I do, right? I do. You're right. You got me there. Their motive is they didn't want nobody to see the bruises on them. It's because they didn't want the attention. Short legs, thank you so much, short legs. You're sitting VIP tonight on the Dolly train, short legs. All right. Comes with a free snack. But anyway, they don't want them to see the bruises, according to Psychic Lady. But don't you think if you didn't want to bring attention to yourself, getting rid of the kids, that brings even more attention to you? Because you can say, hey, they're kids. They've been outside playing. Kids get bruises. There's parents out there all the time that, are abusive, but they cover that up with, oh, my kid fell. He fell down the stairs. He wrecked his bike. You can kind of cover up bruises, right? You can come up with a story, but it's hard to come up with a story that your fucking kids vanished, right? That's a little hard. That's a little of a stretch. Now, I don't know. I'm not talking to the angels. Apparently she may be. But I just think that, yeah, like that's a little bit like you're bringing more attention to yourself with the kids missing than if you had a kid that was bruised head to toe. Listen, I was a boy. I wrecked bikes, skateboards, jumping off of shit. I mean, I had bruises all over me that wasn't from being abused, right? I got a big ass cut on me right now where I cut myself in Walmart. Should sue them, right? I got hurt the other day. I was walking through the store, bleeding my ass off. I bumped into a grill and it cut the back of my leg. And then a lady walked by laughing at me. I was like, what the hell? Right? What happened to feeling sorry for people these days? It was a customer too. She laughed. Right? And I was just like, because I was kind of hopping around and a lady walked by me, laughed. I was like, this shit ain't funny. You know what I'm saying? That's my thought. It's funny now, right? But it wasn't funny when it happened. So what happened to feeling sorry for people? Okay. But you're supposed to check to see if somebody's all right before you laugh at them.
The mom allegedly is shameful because she may know or have knowledge of what happened allegedly. If this isn't the mom, this is someone else's mom. Remember, we have 2 men and 1 woman that is involved. Yeah. I'm hearing Jack and the Beanstalk. Whatever that would mean to anyone.
Jack and the Beanstalk. Okay, I don't know. She may have lost me there. Fee, fi, fo, thumb. Where are we going with this? Okay, the angels talking about a beanstalk. I don't know. I don't know. What if she's right? Okay, what if she's right in this? I'd be blown away. I would stop saying bad thing about psychics. I know that.
I've heard it before. How that plays into this reading for Jack and Lilly, I'm not sure. I get it. We have a Jack and the Beanstalk. However they say it. Yeah, they're inside of something. They're in something. They're trapped.
Yeah, if them kids didn't go missing Friday, let's just say hypothetically, they didn't go missing Friday. They went missing the day before. The mother, and that means everybody there is in on it. Okay, because they got to know that kid's missing. The mother would know the kids are missing. The stepdad would know the kid's missing. The family would probably know the kid's missing. If you got 2 kids around, and it, well, 3, but you got 3 kids around all the time, and then all of a sudden there's 2 kids are missing, it seems like you would notice that pretty quickly. And if you didn't, you're involved. Probably there is a tree. Hey, Michigan. All right. While she's waiting on the angels, let me ask you guys a favor. If you're just tuning in and you haven't hit the like on this video yet, definitely hit the like button. And then once you do that, don't cheat because I'm watching you, ass. I want you to shout out in the chat room where you're watching from. So now it's time to represent your city, your town, your hood. You can even shout out your grandma if you want. But like the video, and then in the chat, shout out where you're watching from. We want to see where you beautiful people are tonight. Just take you a second. Indiana, right? Cali, Michigan's with us tonight. The UK, North Carolina, Virginia Beach, South Carolina, Utah, Providence, Rhode Island, Denver, New York, Alabama, Alberta, more UK, Michigan, Johnson City, Tennessee, been there a few times, Indiana, my kitchen, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Hills of Tennessee. I hit that like. Miami, Florida's in the house. North Texas, Ontario, Canada, Maryland, more Tennessee, Seattle, Australia, Toronto, more Canada, Roswell, New Mexico. Did the aliens really crash? Phoenix, Arizona, Atlanta, Fort Worth, Fort Wayne. My bad. I don't got my glasses on. Ontario, Canada. Brad says, Dolly, wow.
Dolly, while being in the Lizzie Borden house, do you think it's actually haunted?
Oh, yes. Listen, people. Okay, I know this is off topic. Let me blow the screen up for a second. I hate to go squirrel like this on you guys. People are sending me pictures of a ghost behind me in the house from my live stream. Okay, I looked at it and said, oh, that looks a little damn weird. Do I think the house is haunted? Yes, absolutely. 100%, without a doubt in my mind. When we were doing the spirit box and that damn thing told us to leave, that was it. Okay, from that point, I was like, hell yeah, it's haunted. And then the spirit box said boarded, their name. Okay, now the damn thing said get out, leave, and I asked who was there with us, and it said, you know, the father was Andrew Borden, and the damn thing said Borden. So we got some videos that are coming out from that house that I haven't downloaded all the stuff off all the cameras to put together to see if there's any things in the backgrounds, or you know how I was panning the camera around rooms, and y'all just got to see what was shot live. We had other cameras set up in the house, all through the house. So we don't know if we caught anything yet because we've been so busy. I had a lot of stuff to do. I had to cut the grass and stuff today, so I didn't have a lot of time to get through all the footage. I have the footage, I just haven't downloaded it all. So Brad, to answer your question, to make a long story short, hell yeah, that house is haunted. And if you don't believe me, go stay in it. Okay, go stay in it. So, that shit is scary. That shit is scary, scary. And then when it gets quiet, like in the middle of the night, I did sleep in the house. I slept for about, I don't know, 4 hours maybe, and woke up to a real loud thunderstorm. And the first thing I did when I looked over is I seen Lizzie staring right at me. Because that picture was, I was thinking about taking it down, you know, before I went to bed. But then I was like, I ain't going to be a pussy. I can do this, right? I was trying to, you know, man up and be brave. Yeah, I probably should have took that shit down. That woman stared at me for 4 hours while I was sleeping. I actually, you know, to be honest with you, and PJ, I even tell you, I took the blankets and put them over my head. I just didn't want to sleep with my head out. I felt safe under the blankets, you know, like a kid. You know, when you get scared as a kid, how you get under the blankets and you damn near suffocate yourself. I did that. Okay, but I slept. I was tired though. I was super tired. That trip took a lot out of me. But once I got under the blankets, I didn't feel so scared because you kind of like forget that you're in an axe murderer's room and you just kind of like sleep. You know, I didn't have bad dreams or nothing. So, but I did wake up in the middle of the night with that woman looking at me. As soon as I stuck my head out, because the first thing I seen was the picture of her right over the bed looking at me. And I was like, this shit is scary. You know what I'm saying? But by then it was time to start, you know, moving around, getting up, getting all your shit together to get out of there. Because they have ghost tours that come through there at 10 o'clock. So in the morning. So it was time to start to shake and bake. So, you know, there's your answer.
How do you say it? Chimney? Remember those old things we had where we were told that Santa Claus would come down? Help me out in the comment section. We were told as kids, oh, Santa's gonna come down the chimney, and where the fireplace is. That's interesting. This has never come up before. Chimney, help me out. They were hidden. Oh my gosh. Spirit is like showing me things.
She said, let's rent the whole house. Beth, we had the whole second floor, except for one room of the second floor. There was only 2 people in the whole house with us, and there were 2 women. There was a woman, I believe her name was Pat. She was in the room next to us, and that was the room that Mrs. Borden was murdered in. She slept in that room. Okay. But when we got there, the whole house was open. Like you could go in any room you wanted. And we had the whole, there was only 3 people in the whole house. One girl stayed on the 3rd floor in the maid's room. And there was one lady next to us. But we had Lizzie's room. We had Emma's room. We had Mr. Borden's room. We had the guest room. Nobody stayed in the children's room. And the whole downstairs. So we pretty much had the whole house. And then when it got late, the 2 girls went to bed. So the only people that were up when we were shooting them ghost videos near the end was me and PJ. And I felt like I was keeping them up because we were so loud. So we pretty much had the whole house, which was, you know, pretty cool if you're going to stay in a haunted ghost house.
Jack and the Beanstalk, a chimney, which I know I'm not saying it right. My apologies. Help me out. I'm honest. A chimney, something that they're inside of. They're hidden. Unbelievable. All alleged.
I don't know. Would they hide somebody there? That would be a weird place to hide some bodies. Don't you think it would
The
stink?
searchers need to go back to the property. There's something significant on the inside, maybe not where Jack and Lily lived with their mom and stepfather, maybe in another trailer or camper. Huh. They could be in another trailer home or stuck or inside of something. I don't know how because they're not that small. Man.
What about a well? I mean, I don't know.
Very important for them to go back to the property where it all started.
No, I mean, if you have a brand new trailer, like, you know, trailers nowadays, they're super nice. Like the new ones, they may have, I've seen them with hot tubs and, yeah, fireplaces in them, but not like no old raggedy ass trailer like they were in. Hell no. That shit probably has a gas, what is that, a wood oven with a little pipe that comes out the wall and goes up? I doubt that, you know, I doubt that chimney that have a fireplace and that raggedy ass, rickety ass trailer they were in. Listen, they needed to clean that yard. Okay, they didn't have no fire. They might have had one in the Winnebago, a fireplace in that damn raggedy ass Winnebago they had in the backyard. Nah, definitely not there. Not in a fireplace, chimney, right? Not at that residence. Now, I ain't saying they couldn't have went somewhere else and hid the kids in some abandoned house with a, a fireplace or something. Not in that raggedy ass shit they lived in. You light a fire and then that whole bitch would burn down in 30 seconds. Like old kindling wood. Be gone. First wind blow, whole trailer be gone. And when trailers catch on fire, them bitches burn down in like 30 seconds. They burn down so fast because they make it with all that thin little bit of wood. It's like matchsticks. That old trailer is an asbestos box. A shack in the woods. Now you got to remember there was the cabins that they would go to, right? One of the cabins chimneys. That's possible, right? And this is if the psychic lady's right. Now, a lot of the stuff she says that she believes there's a bunch of people involved, I believe that. That something's coming, I believe that. Now, as far as like the beanstalk stuff and the fireplace, I mean, she could be right. I mean, I don't know. We don't know until we find out. In the end, we'll know if she's right, right? We won't know right now. Dolly, you are so funny. Need those angels moving their wings. We do. All right. We need them flying in formation. Something got to give.
I feel authorities have made a lot of mistakes, in my opinion. Their
biggest mistake, being more mad at YouTubers than they are the people that are responsible for Jack and Lily missing. That's where they made their first mistake. That's when I lost a little faith in the Canadian police, when they were like, well, we will charge people criminally if you threaten the family. No, I haven't heard anybody threaten the family. Me, myself on YouTube. I don't know what they do on TikTok and shit like that. I don't watch that. But far as on YouTube, I don't really watch everybody, but I haven't heard anybody threaten them. And I know there are YouTubers out here that will blame them, right? Like I say, I'm suspicious of them, but I don't say I let y'all know I don't have any proof. And then that's just my opinion. Every YouTuber don't do that. They talk about it. Oh, they did it. They're murderers. They're killers. You look at the one dude that plays with the monkey. He calls Katie Killer Katie. He don't have any proof that she's a killer. Do I suspect that she's possibly responsible? Yes. But you're sitting there calling that lady a killer and you really don't know, right? What if somebody kidnapped Sebastian, which I don't think is highly unlikely, but you got people out there that do that stuff. They show dead kids' bodies. They're worried about little boys' private parts and shit. It's some of the stuff that's happening out here on the internet is absolutely disgusting. They lie so bad that Nancy had to pull her show down, right? Because of lies told in a missing kid case. She couldn't even show the show. And people believe those people, right? And it's absolutely disgusting. I don't see how people get away with saying such horrible, terrible shit, lying their ass off, and then their viewers still just love them to death. Oh my God, we love your hair plugs and your makeup. I don't get it.
There's things that were missed. I feel the stepdad, in my opinion, and even the mom, especially the stepdad, they were very misleading, in my opinion. First of all, they had the same exact story about what happened before their kids vanished.
I said the same thing.
Those stories matched up very well. Then we have one parent who dips out.
What the hell is a hair plug? Well, there's this dude. Now you're going to turn me into a drama channel. There's this dude that looks like he has some tumbleweeds on his head. Okay. It kind of looks like it's blowing in the wind. It looks like he burn a hole in the ozone layer with some Aquanet, and his monkey snatches his hair plugs out. Okay. So he got like a little patch of hair plugs, like right here. Then he has this huge ass bald spot, right, that he tries to cover up with the hair plugs. But he has really nice makeup. Okay. He has really nice makeup. Now, if you need makeup tips, I would say check them out. Okay. If you like dead bodies, if you like how makeup looks on a dead body, okay, say we just dug a corpse up that's been dead for like, let's just say just hypothetically, 6 months. Okay. We find a corpse in the ground for 6 months that was kin to Donald Trump and is orange as a fucking fruit. Okay. If we found somebody that had jaundice and good makeup with hair plugs, okay, just picture this with me, right? In your mind, I want you all to visualize this. A dead corpse with really nice makeup. Orange is this cup right here. All right, orange, that color, right? Don't mistake the color. If you put really good makeup on a pumpkin, okay, if you had a pumpkin and you carved that bitch really nice with some hair plugs and you put some really good makeup on it, that's what we're talking about tonight. Okay, that's what we're talking about. This color with really good makeup and hair plugs and holds a damn monkey. You can't make this shit up. You thinking, is Dolly messing with us? Hell no, I'm not. Okay, you can't believe nothing somebody this color says. Okay, if you believe a motherfucker that it's orange as this damn cup, I ain't got much more to say to you. Okay, I ain't got much more to say to you. But if you want good makeup tips from a fucking pumpkin ass looking dude, yeah, you know where to you know where to go. You know where to go. Okay.
And then we have the stepfather saying, well, my mom had to kick some people off the property because they say I had something to do with it. And he's basically saying that's BS because I've been fighting to find them the whole time. FYI, I've outrun drones and helicopters.
Dolly, stop.
And was in water mid-waist. So, you know. In other words, no one would go that far if they didn't care or if they had something to do with it. It's possible we could hear about a confession. There's an energy of a confession coming from someone.
I mean, listen, if you ball, just own that shit, right? All you do is wear a hat like me. Get your fucking hat. Right? If you're starting to go bald a little bit, get you a hat. All right, that's all you gotta do. You ain't gotta go spend $20,000 on some hair plugs. All right. But when the monkey grabs it, oh my God, it is so priceless. It is so priceless. Okay. The monkey sitting there hitting them in the face and shit. Like, oh my God. Oh my God. You can't even make it up. Hair plugs fighting for property rights.
See, authorities haven't put the pressure.
Yeah, I don't wear makeup. Okay. No makeup here. And I'm tanning. Look, I got a really good tan, right? You know, my kid's part Mexican, right? So we were sitting in the car today and she's like, damn, Dad, you're like tanner than me. But, you know, I've been outside building the deck, working on the pool. I've been in the pool a lot. So I got a really good tan going on. And you notice I'm not orange because I'm not kin to the Oompa Loompas. Okay. Like, dude, I don't know if you should be doing true crime or making fucking chocolate. I don't know which one you should be doing, but I don't think it's true crime. Okay. I don't think it's true crime. Oh, y'all, I better stop. See, y'all turning me into a drama channel. Y'all better stop. This is your fault. Don't blame it on me. Okay.
On the family yet. I feel they were questioned, but they did not put that pressure, that real hardcore pressure on the family yet. I'm talking about all the adults that were there the morning those kids vanished.
Don't do it, then, Bingo. Don't do it. Don't do it. Misunderstood. Said, I'll take
Spirit
the
is saying that 3 adults know what happened to Jack and Lily. They were most definitely physically removed and hidden. 100%.
Make it look like
I hate to say it, but this was teamwork. It was teamwork to get rid of Lily and Jack, in my opinion. Teamwork. This was not a one-man job. This was
Okay, so she believes multiple people are responsible for Jack and Lily's disappearance. Now, listen, we're not going to watch her whole video because we're going to open up the phone lines, take some phone calls. And for you guys that are watching, this is the channel that we were listening to. It is True Crime with Mara, right? I think I said that right. M-A-R-A. Go over there if you like what she's saying. Watch the rest of her video. Not right now, after you're done watching this. Sub her up, ring her bell for notifications. And, you know, in the end, we'll find out if she's right. Okay. But like a lot of the things she's saying, I agree with. I'm no psychic, but I do got a feeling that something is coming, you know, and I'm really suspicious of 4 people. She's definitely 3. And that's weird. She says 3 too, because, you know, there's 4 people at the house, but one of them people was Danielson's mother. Okay. Maybe grandma and her 2 sons. Anyone heard from grandma? Nobody, right? She hasn't given any interviews, not that I know of, and neither has the brother. Now he's been involved while Danielson's doing interviews. He's laid back in the back like this on the right on the 4-wheeler, like, yeah, you're just chilling, right? Just chilling. And you know, I can understand that, you know, they're not his kids, you know. But let's just say one of my family members' kids went missing. I think I'd be a little more concerned. Dolly, can you teach a bobber to swim? What the hell does that mean? Can I teach a bobber to swim? I don't know the answer to that one. I love your pool and area, very nice. Oh, okay, thank you. I did post a picture of, because I just hooked up the LED lights around my pool, the rim of the pool, and I got color changing lights in the pool so that the pool changes colors and shit. And I've been doing a lot of work just in the yard, trying to build my Dolly oasis. Okay, and I got a few things left. I got a pool box that I got to put together. I haven't done it yet. PJ got it off, I think, Temu or something. I don't fucking right now. But I got to put that together, and I'm building a tiki bar. So I don't do a lot of drinking, but my buddy was here today, and he's like, well, why are you building a tiki bar? You don't drink. I was like, I drink soda, I drink tea, I drink Slurpees, I drink other shit. Why does it have to be alcohol to sit at a tiki bar and drink? I can't sit at a tiki bar and have a soda. I went out to the bar when I was in Boston. You know what I had? A soda. Okay, I can sit at a bar and drink a soda. I don't have to drink alcohol to have a tiki bar. Okay, bars usually serve other things than just alcohol, right? But he was like, you're building a tiki bar and you don't even drink, right? I was like, yeah, but it kind of goes with my tiki outdoor tiki torches and tiki bar and tiki statues and juice bar. There you go, right? I'm going to serve milk and cookies. Okay, milk and cookies. But thank you guys. So I post a little update picture of my progress in the yard. And like I said, I'm still working on everything. When I'm done, it's going to be super cool. All right. And, you know, usually I go out a lot in the summer, but I wanted to, you know, make a chill spot, something really chill here where I could just relax around the house without having to go to the beach or, you know, go to a water park or anything like that. So I usually don't hang outside. I'm usually, you know, and my reasoning for doing this, and this is, y'all got me squirreling again, is so I spend a little more time outside. And it's been working. Y'all see how tan I am, right? I'm tan as shit. I'm pilling a little bit, but I'm super tan. So it's working. And, you know, like I said, I'm going to put me like a movie projector out there next so I can watch big ass movies while I'm chilling in the backyard. So that's coming next. But yeah, it's just a project. I built the deck. I didn't put in the pool. Okay. I had a pool guy do the pool because I didn't want to mess with it. Okay. It seemed like a little bit out of my wheelhouse, I guess is the word. But he did a really good job in installing it. He did it fairly cheap. So I got a pretty good deal. But everything else, like the decks, I built like a tri-level deck. So when you walk out my back door, there's a deck. and then you go up these steps, and then there's a deck that goes around the part of the pool, which I plan on extending. I built it kind of not real big, but I plan on building on to that. So, and then I built a bottom layer. So it's 3. And then the bottom deck has like my patio table and chairs and umbrella, right? So you can sit down on the bottom deck. And then like there's the back door deck, and then there's the pool deck. But they're all connected. So you can like, it's tri-level. I don't know. It's pretty cool. No, I didn't do salt water. The pool guy told me to. He was like, your pump is fresh water, salt water. You might as well set it up and do salt water. It's better. And I was like, nah, I don't really like salt water. I want good burn your eyes out when you get in the pool. I want some chlorine. Okay. I didn't really want to do the salt water pool. I don't really like salt water. Okay. So let's get back on topic. The kids missing, not in the woods. We have 4 people on the property. 2 of those people sounded like they had scripted stories. That's what we do know so far, right? Not that they were scripted, but they sounded scripted. They said similar things. The kids were super friendly. They would talk to anybody. They would possibly get in a car with strangers. No problem. Now, me, I was a little different as a kid. I wasn't so outgoing to where I would talk to strangers, right? I believe in stranger danger. I always think people are creepy. I still think people are creepy to this day, right? Especially if you approach fast. Like if you come up on me kind of quick, I mean, I don't know. Like I've met a lot of people that watch the channel. Usually everywhere I go, at least somebody comes up to me like, "Hey, Dolly," right? Well, every state, not everywhere I go in the state. I ain't known like that, okay? But usually when I travel somewhere, at least one person somewhere on that trip will come, "Dolly, I watch your show," right? And long as you walk up like calmly and let me know who you are like quickly, it don't sketch me out, right? But then sometimes people like start following me and then pull up beside me and be like, "Hey, you Dolly," that freaks me out. All right, because then you're like following me, and it's like, it's just weird. And it's happened, but sometimes people are super nice, right? Like they become, they're really nice people. It's just they approach weird. And that kind of sketches me. So if you ever see me out somewhere and you want to say hello, right? Just come up like slowly. Don't run up on me or freak me out. You know what I'm saying? And just be like, "Hey, Dolly, I watch you on YouTube." And usually I'm pretty friendly. I can't think of a time I've been mean to anybody, even when people approach fucked up, right? You know what I'm saying? I guess that's the best word for it. You will have a heart attack with salt water. I don't know. But as long as you approach smoothly, like nicely, and it ain't too like right up on me, and you let me know who you are, I'm usually pretty friendly to everybody that comes up. I can't think of nobody that I've been mean to, really. So just remember that. So let's open up the phone lines. I want to hear what you people think happened. Is this a criminal investigation? Is the family responsible for what is going on with these kids? Or should we be looking for a kidnapper at this point? All right, let me open the phone lines. Phone lines are now open. The call-in number, that didn't take long. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey, Rose from Virginia. How did I know you would be the first caller?
Because I can't help myself.
You just waiting for the phone line to open. You were like, "I'm ready."
Oh, my God. Pins and needles. Pins and needles.
You were like, "I know he's going to open this phone line."
You know it.
Oh, you know what?
And
Can y'all hear her? Yeah, y'all can hear her. I got the screen shared. You should be good. All right, go ahead, Rose.
Chat, please be nice. I've been following Jimmy since Gabby Petito, and I've never been mean or ugly to anybody. But anyway, you've been all over the place tonight, Jimmy. I mean, you've really squirreled, okay?
They got me with it. They did it to me. It wasn't me. I was on track, and everybody else made me squirrel.
On nights like that, when I watch you, then I squirrel, okay?
Okay.
So forgive me if I'm going all over the place, but number one, I don't think the children are on that property anywhere in those woods. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going by, I think a police officer said the last scent was at the end of the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's significant.
Then they got
That
into
the
a
dogs
vehicle.
That the dogs, I mean, I'm pretty sure there were scents of those children all over that little area, backyard, whatever that, the children play.
Yeah, you would think so.
But the strongest scent that the dogs were concerned about was at the end of that driveway. So I'm thinking someone took them away. Now, whether it was in the family or just some perp that just happened to be out that day, and the kids were there. I mean, it's happening everywhere. I mean, you turn your head and your kid is gone, Now, I know we're diving into, well, were these really fit parents?
Mm-hmm.
And a little suspect to me is, and I know I touched on this the other night when I called, about how much are people learning from the internet about how to act so that they don't look suspicious. Now, I think Daniel, and have you been calling him Danielson?
Danielson.
No, very far from it, Dan. I love my little Danielson. Please, you got to stop. But Daniel, he went like overboard, like almost in the Chris Proudfoot area after a while. You know how Chris kept trying to claim his innocence,
Mm-hmm.
Now, the mother, I think she's a little bit, I don't know how old she is, but there's something wrong there too, and they made it more interesting because now they're fighting. So, like, we used to always think, well, at some point, Katie and Chris are going to turn on each other. Well, these two did it right away,
Mm-hmm.
So back to what I said, the other day, like, people are learning how to get away with crimes the more they watch true crime, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, there's a T-shirt that says, I watch enough true crime that I can make you disappear, and that's on a T-shirt. So yeah,
I know.
I think if you
And
watch
if,
enough true crime, that's why you don't mess with women that watch true crime, because they know how to make
well,
your
I
ass
watch
vanish.
true crime because of you, because of how you make it flow. You throw some laughter. Tonight was fun. I wanted to touch in on the ghost whisperer, Mara.
Uh-huh.
Mara.
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting because you don't usually pull stuff like that up.
Mm-mm.
So I'm seeing that you are beginning to believe that there are, I mean, if you can believe in a spirit that throws your phone at your ankle one morning, you can believe in a spirit that says, hey, look over here.
Maybe, yeah, I mean, I don't say it's impossible. I just, I don't buy into it much.
Well, you don't have to buy in it much. I wouldn't invest all my last coins in it, but I think it's good to open up to it. I think that's what helps make the world go round. Be a little more open-minded and shut it down when it just doesn't feel right.
Uh-huh.
What I'm saying?
Yeah. All right, Rose, we're running out of time. We're hitting our 5-minute mark. So anything else you want to wrap it up with before we go?
Well, yeah. Just, I have family that lives in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
I love Canada. I've been there. It's a beautiful country. And the same stuff that's going on in Canada is going on in the U.S. and everywhere else.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, you be good. You stay safe. And
let's not throw stones.
All right. I will talk to you next time, Rose. Be good. Peace.
Later, Hosen.
Dolly.
Dolly.
Yeah.
This is George down here in Houston.
What's up, George?
We're down here just being crazy.
Are you crazy, George? Okay. I wouldn't expect nothing less of you.
I know it. So, everything's on the table. Every possibility is on the table, right?
Yeah, that's where I'm leaving it, because till there's some proof that they did something, I suspect them, but I don't have any proof. So right now we leave everything open. All doors are open right now.
I mean, they don't have no clues about anything.
I would say behavior is a clue. To me, a lot of people disagree with that, but I believe their behavior is red flags. And where there's red flags, there's a reason for those flags. I like, maybe it's something not bad, but there's something going on. And I can't quite pinpoint it, but I feel that there's something there.
Well, maybe Jesus came back and took these kids.
No, I don't think that happened. I'm pretty sure that I can rule that one probably out.
You're going to rule that one out?
Yeah,
okay.
I'll rule that one out for you. I don't think Jesus came back. I think if Jesus came back, he would take all his people. He wouldn't just take selected kids. And we know aliens don't abduct kids, right? There's a treaty.
Well, that was my next point. My next point was that Bigfoot got in control of a UFO, and Bigfoot was driving a UFO over the ground.
I think you're batting zero tonight, Crazy George. I think you're batting zero. I don't think none of those things transpired. I don't think Bigfoot's responsible.
Well, then that leaves the parents.
Leaves the parents. Well, there you go. You nailed it. Okay.
I'm just down to the parents.
I thought you was going to strike out tonight, but apparently you got a last pitch.
I'm eliminated about everything I can.
Yeah, Bigfoot, aliens. You didn't say El Chupacabras.
Well, those are in Mexico.
Oh yeah, okay.
They're not in Canada.
Okay.
We do have those down here. They ran through my back garden and ate up all my zucchinis.
Okay, I thought they were bloodsuckers.
Well, apparently they eat zucchinis too because they ate them all up.
Okay, all right. We'll have to get you some new zucchinis.
So, well,
I mean,
that's all I got.
You sound more like a squash man to me, but zucchinis is it. All right, Crazy George, you be good.
You too.
All right, peace.
Buenos dias, come back and see us.
All right, Crazy George there. Okay, he said we ruled out Bigfoots, we ruled out aliens. All it leaves the people on the property. Dolly. Yes.
It is your neighbor, Sarah, from North Carolina, and it's divine intervention that I got through to you tonight.
Okay, Sarah. Carolina. Okay.
You were not going to believe what I just did. I'm an empath, but I just did a live reading while you're on live right now, and I have answers for you.
Okay,
I did a reading on your... Yes, I did a reading on your empath, and I took a video. I'd like to text it to you if that's okay.
You can text it to this number.
Sweet. I'll do it in just a second, but I'll tell you what they said. It was wild. So I did a reading on your empath, and I just asked whether my guides felt like that she was correct or not. And I asked certain questions. I said, was there more than 2 people? And I did it with a flashlight, and you'll see, it'll come on. I asked if there was something over it, and I don't see a structure in my mind. However, somebody's put something there, and I do believe that there is something over it. And I also think that there might be something to do with like a burned pit. Not there, but there's something concealing a spot. Anyway, I asked about that. She's correct. They answered all the questions for you live. I promise I will text this thing to you. It was wild.
Okay. Do you want me to play it?
I don't care if you play it or not. Yeah, and I don't mind. I just figured I'd ask while I was awake. I thought, hey, why not? Okay.
All right. Send it to me.
Yeah, I definitely will. Y'all have a good night.
Okay. All right. Peace.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. Everybody's using their psychic senses, right? I don't know. But hey, you send it, I'll play it. Okay. I'll play it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. So we've had a lot of people. We've had people call here and say they see dead people. I see dead people. We had people call and say they were psychics. We've had a little bit of everything. That's the thing about a phone line is you never really know what you're going to get until you hit answer. Okay. It almost sounds like some Forrest Gump shit, right? Like there's sometimes that, it's a Monday night. Sometimes people be sipping and tipping like it's the weekends. I mean, I don't know. The lady could be psychic. She could be an empath. I mean, I don't know. Dolly.
Hello?
Yes.
Hey, I have an idea what might be going on with the Lilly and
Jack?
I forgot Jack. Yes,
All right, you got to tell
I
us who
think.
you are first and where you calling from. We got some rules
I'm
around here.
from. All right. I'm Earl. I'm from Maryland.
Okay, Earl, what's going on with you tonight?
All right. I have two suspicions of how it happened.
Okay, let's hear
I
it.
think they had a party. The kids got a hold of fentanyl, and they both felt bad about it. And they wanted to get rid of the body,
Uh-huh.
so they took it down to the end of the driveway and waited for the dump cleanup to come through, and they put it on the truck in garbage bags.
Okay. Well, you know, it's weird you say that because in Canada they had a cleanup day apparently right before this happened. Like they call it like spring clean or something like that, where the trash comes out and they pick up all the bulk trash. So,
yeah.
all right, what's theory number two?
Theory number two is, well, it's actually two parts on that one. But they have a four-wheeler. Why would you go, if you know the kids went in the woods, you got a four-wheeler, there's a trail going up the side. If you look on the map, there's a trail that goes up into a pasture and goes into another pasture down to a lakeside.
Uh-huh.
And they have a video of them camping at a video site. And I think they probably took them there and took them to that campsite area by the river.
Okay. All right. You never know. I mean, either one of those could be possible because right now we don't know. And I know this, them people know them woods better than anybody do because they've lived there for years.
But with the dog scent ending at the end of the driveway, that's when the trash comes down and picks it up. That's where the scent ended.
Uh-huh. Well, if the kids,
so maybe they need to check the dump area.
If the kids wasn't with us, they didn't walk out to a vehicle. They would have had to been carried out to a vehicle.
Yeah, like in a trashy suitcase. I mean, they got plenty of trash around the yard.
That they do.
But it could have been a tote. It could have been a tote with contractor bags.
Yeah, possible. Absolutely. I just don't feel like those kids walked away. I mean, that's my opinion.
They didn't walk away, and they all know who did it. The mother, the grandmother knows, the brother knows, he knows, and she knows. All four of them, I find it all suspicious.
I agree with you on that. I find all four of them suspicious too. And I believe if something did take place, it took place between the three of them, and the grandma may possibly know.
Because a mother would protect their son or daughter if they were doing drugs, and the kids got it while they were sleeping, and they have an overdose, and they woke up and hide the body.
Absolutely. All right. Well, look, I appreciate you calling in and chopping it up with me.
Thank you.
All right.
You guys have a blessed day.
You too. Now, like I said, we're not ruling anything out. They had this thing called spring clean in Canada where a lot of the bulk trash was getting picked up. Now, was that area part of that? I don't know. Some of my Canadian people can tell me, but most people were like, Dolly, you're right. There was a spring clean that went on where they send out big trucks to pick up bulk trash. Here in my state, you have to call those trucks and they'll come every couple of weeks or something, but you have to call in a bulk pickup. But apparently in some of these rural areas, they got trucks that go out on a certain date and they go out and pick up all the big, like old refrigerators, box springs, big things like that need to go to the dump. In a lot of rural areas, they burn their trash. Like me, I live in a city, but I'm more in the country part of the city. Like I got a lot of woods around me and I have a big fire pit. So sometimes small things I burn. Big shit, I don't really burn here because there's fire laws. Dolly.
Doug from Tennessee.
What up, Doug?
Hey, man, what's them people talking about my ancestors for?
What ancestors?
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot? Yeah, you are big.
Yeah.
You could actually have some Sasquatch in you, Doug.
Yeah, my ancestors didn't bother them kids.
No, Bigfoot didn't do it. Aliens didn't do it. I think the only people that got any explaining to do in this case is them parents and the people on that property.
Yes, but I still believe that the little girl was screaming. They backhanded her. The little boy went to screaming. They backhanded him. They had to get rid of the bodies, and the four-wheeler done it.
When did a backhand kill kids, though? I mean, usually you could take a backhand.
Yeah, but when they're screaming like that and they on that shit, they backhand them too hard.
You're right, Doug. I mean, if you're under the influence, you seem like you get irritable more, especially if you're coming off of like hard drugs. You see people start to act crazy and they start to withdraw from it and they get angry fast. I mean, I don't know. I don't rule anything out. I don't. It's hard. It's still hard for me, even 3.5 years later, to believe that parents. And I know they can. It's still hard for me to believe that a mother could hurt their kid or be so disconnected from their child that they gave birth to. It just blows my mind.
I'm not crying off.
Yeah, don't care. Just don't care. Like it don't even mean nothing to them. I mean, it's the exact opposite of most mothers, where they love their kids. They would jump in front of a bullet for them. It's the exact opposite of that. They would shoot their kid instead of jumping in front of a bullet for them. It's still, I still have a hard time, even though I've sat there with baby killers and talked to them. It's still so hard for me to believe. I mean, I know it's true. It's just, I still don't have a real good way to wrap my head around it. And I think the thing that I see in common with these women is a disconnect. I guess that's the best way I can describe it. They're not connected to their kids. And it's weird because some of these baby killers can love one kid, but be disconnected to the other kids.
Yep.
So
they got a different father.
Yeah, exactly. Hate the baby daddy. That's a Leilani situation. Leilani hated her baby's daddy. She was only mean to Quentin Simon. She wasn't mean to the other kids.
That's true.
You know, and it was because of the baby daddy. She did not like the baby daddy. When she looked at that child, he reminded her of her boyfriend, and she did horrible things to that kid, mad at him.
That's true.
Yeah.
Hey, you talk about freaky stuff. Now I'm gonna tell you what freaked me out is I knew none of y'all when we had that meet and greet, and I get out the car and everybody knows who I was.
Well, you said you was big. I mean, I think when you said you was big, and you know,
it was just freaky though.
Yeah.
My wife, you know these people. I had not met none of them.
Everybody was so friendly. I mean, it was a good vibe, good people. I had a great time. You know, I need to do another meet and greet sometime. I don't know, coming up sometime this year or maybe next year, early next year.
I hear you be close to Tennessee and I can make it.
Yeah, I mean, I try to do it in a central location. I figured Tennessee was good because I do so many stories in Tennessee that a lot of Tennessee people watch me, and I wanted to have it somewhere where, you know, I could meet the most people and, you know, meet as many viewers as I could. And I thought Tennessee was a prime location because we had people coming from Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina. So it was good times. I had a good time. It was good to meet you too, Doug.
All right, well, you too, man. I just hope they find these kids quickly, but I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think it's going to have to come to an arrest, and then somebody's going to have to talk. But I appreciate you calling, Doug.
All right, man. Tell PJ hi.
I will. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, so I went to CrimeCon last year, and we did a meet and greet one of the days of CrimeCon, because I did it around CrimeCon because I figured a lot of people come to CrimeCon anyway, right, that are into true crime. And even though they won't give me a table at true CrimeCon because they say Dolly's too controversial, right? The one person that said don't blame anybody, I say people are suspicious, but I'm too controversial. When like their head person was Nancy Grace. Remember Top Mom and blaming Casey Anthony? And I mean, I don't do anything that let's say Nancy Grace or Banfield or Vinnie Politan that they do, but yet they turned me down this year for CrimeCon. Okay, they turned me down last year, said you can't get a booth, okay, and you got to pay for the booths. They didn't even want my money. They're like, you're too controversial. I tried this year thinking, okay, well, I haven't really blamed anybody for nothing. I ain't been too controversial, right? So I still may be at CrimeCon this year in Colorado. Now, I don't know how many viewers I have in that area because I don't cover a lot of cases in Colorado or around that area. But, we got people all around the country. So if I do go, I may do something in Colorado because I know a lot of people may be flying into CrimeCon. I'm getting kind of anti-CrimeCon. You know what I'm saying? It just like, man, I work so hard in true crime, and there's so many people there that are like, hold on, that I don't feel like are legit, and I feel like I am. I mean, that's just my thinking, and not to let me be a part of something with my peers. It's kind of like sucks, right? Because I believe I'm good at what I do and I'm fair at what I do. And I don't understand what their problem is with me. They won't give me no reasoning. They just say, you're too controversial. To who? To who? Right? To who the hell am I controversial to? We got all these people that are into true crime, and I can't promote myself there. Well, I do still. I promoted myself and saved myself almost $2,000 at the last one. We had the big meet and greet. We were still at CrimeCon. I was still meeting people, taking pictures with people, doing everything, I would do if I paid you to be there. Right? But I got to do it free. You know what I'm saying? And if worst case scenario is I'll show up again with a damn Dolly Vision shirt on, and walk around and meet all the people like I did at this one. I just think that's unnecessary. And I don't know what their problem with me is, right? Like, you've had other people that have been out there blaming people for committing crimes. They're not controversial, but I am, right? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I just feel like, damn, right? Like I can't, like, no respect. I feel like Rodney Dangerfield. Okay. One of my favorite comedians. No respect. None. I'm like the redheaded stepchild of true crime. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly. Holy crap. I got through. Hey, it's Shauna from Tennessee.
Hey, Shauna.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Not too bad.
Good. Loving your pool.
Thank you.
Even though I'm in Tennessee, I may have to come hunt it down. I love the lights.
Okay, thank you.
And I'll be, how you always say, if you don't sub up and hit the like button, I'm going to be in your backyard in a tent. I might be in your backyard in the pool. Going, what's up?
I say that. I say I say it joking.
I know, Dolly. I'm saying the same thing. I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be funny too. Hey, I wanted to say that so I've got my in-laws. They all live in Canada, and I mean, their take on this whole Lilly and, oh God, I feel bad. Lilly and what's the brother's name?
Jack,
thank you. Canadians are so polite. They're the ones that will apologize to you if they step on your foot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Law enforcement seems to be doing their job. It's very sus. I agree with that. So that's all I wanted to say about that. But I just wanted to say that, the reason I don't think they want you at CrimeCon, and this is just my opinion, because Lord knows I'm not a YouTuber. I don't know crap about all that, but it just seems like it's sus. It's sus. It's not you. It's not you.
It's definitely me, because I'm the one they want in there.
Well, but will they let you've been affiliated with in the past before you realized they were poison?
I don't know. I don't know.
No, because they're not allowed there either, as far as I know.
What I'm saying?
Like what?
They won't even explain why I'm controversial. They won't even give me that respect. They're like, nah, here's your money. Here's your money back. They refunded my money both times. They refunded me my money.
So you know what you do? You put your middle finger up at them and say, okay, we're done with the politics. But I feel like there's a lot of people running their mouths about, I mean, I get so disgusted, even though I try not to listen to some of these other so-called content creators because I don't respect them as that. I try not to follow them, but when I hear people talking about not just you, but other, like, not just true crime.
They don't care. They don't care if I attend. They just won't give me a booth.
They don't want you having a booth.
They won't let me advertise Dolly Vision at their event.
Why? Yeah, that's bullshit. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's sus. It's very, very sus. But anyway, I just wanted to send you guys some love. Say I love your pool. Don't be surprised if you see a short-headed girl laying in a little tube in the back of your pool going, this is awesome.